All right, we back, episode 3 of Alpha Sports Talk Syndicate. I'm Ada, I got my man King Low.
King Low the rock star.
No doubt. Yeah, so a lot went on last weekend. Of course, the Devin Haney fight was probably the biggest thing of the weekend for a lot of other reasons. But we're gonna start it off with something simple, just to get it out the way. The UFC card, or really just the main event, the Santos Teixeira fight. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, coincidentally, I picked Teixeira to beat Santos. I think it was kind of evident that Santos had some good power, but his ground game was severely lacking. I actually thought that Teixeira was going to be tougher than him as far as even in the stand-up, possibly. Turned out not to be the case. However, I did pick him to win. This kind of brings into question about the next fight. Does Jan Blachowicz fight Glover Teixeira, who has earned the rightful spot, or does he fight Adesanya? Obviously, the money fight's going to be the Adesanya fight. Teixeira's old, man. He's probably on one of his last legs, I think, as far as on that title run. Nevertheless, he's a crafty veteran. The only losses that he's ever had were to top competition. And I think that coming off of, as far as Santos is concerned, you coming off of a knee surgery. You feel what I'm saying? And, them knees got to be strong to be able to stop a shot. Yeah. But it just went kind of how I kind of expected it to go. So we'll see what the money fight is, which I think is going to be Adesanya.
Yeah,
but they might hold off.
Yeah.
But they might hold it off because of all of this COVID bullshit, because they might want a crowd for something like that, because that'd be Adesanya going for that light heavyweight title. And we know John Jones just basically vacated it to go up to heavyweight. Yeah, and we
Jones
know they've been going at it.
He ain't going back. He don't put on too much weight. I don't think he'll go back to 205.
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
My perspective on the fight was Santos. He's older now. The youthfulness, which would get him out of tough spots, is gone. I think he laid it all on the line in the Jones fight. But I will say this. It goes to show you as you age how important a ground game is. Because if you think about it, if the Teixeira Adesanya fight does happen, the thing that will make it interesting is, Teixeira's a hell of a lot older, but if he gets Adesanya on the ground, you're not going to win that round unless you get back on your feet. And we saw that Teixeira could definitely take a punch, and plenty of punches, but he was able to win those rounds. It's not about winning the fight per se, but it's winning those rounds. So it'd definitely be interesting if that fight did take place. But I thought it was a decent fight. But Santos, I think he can pretty much give it up on some sort of a title shot. I think he's pretty much done in that regard. But it was still a good fight for him. But Teixeira definitely, raised his little stock value up. So that was cool. But
well, listen, one more thing on that, too. One of the reasons, now I said that I felt that Santos was a little soft also. I said that in the beginning. The reason why I said that is something that we have been talking about. I think we talked about last week. I seen him with his girlfriend, which is another UFC fighter. I think she's a European, one of the European women fighters that's in the UFC. And I just kind of watched him when he was around her in his reactions and stuff, kind of what we was talking about with Keith Thurman. Yeah. Sometimes these women, they sap your energy. They make you go soft. You get inside the pussy. You're getting taken care of. You got a little money from the fights to play a little bit. Mm-hmm. Know what I mean? Kind of like what happened to Rocky. In the motherfucking movie and shit on 3 when Mr. T end up whooping on his ass.
Yeah.
What you think about that, boss, real quick?
It's funny you mentioned that because I was listening to Mike Tyson talk about training for the Roy Jones fight. he said he turned into a different person. He said he had to leave the house. Like his family can't be around him, his wife and kids. So, that's one of the reasons why, because they will sap your energy. But
take away that killer instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that and not only that, just the fact that you giving your energy anyway, you shooting your life force out a lot.
A lot.
If you like a bitch, if a bitch is, you staying in the pussy. Especially these fucking athletes, you know what I'm saying? But it could be, of detriment. So I saw that with Santos.
Also, a lot of guys.
He's not the hardest motherfucker anyway.
But a lot of guys jack off too. I know I saw Tank Davis, it's been about a year or so ago. He had posted something online. He had some porn and some Vaseline or something, basically saying, how difficult it was on the fight camp. But still, you releasing that energy. And that's energy that you could be using to help you win a fight.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel you on that. Let's go and get into the meat and potatoes of this, the Devin Haney fight,
Devin Haney.
Oh, man, the internet tore him up, which to me, it went as I expected. I figured he wasn't going to knock him out. I mean, that's not what he does. After watching him come up, watching probably the first 2 fights on Showbox that they televised of him, it was all this hype. Devin Haney. He was just supposed to be just this big splash of talent, which was cool because you had other guys who just popped up on the scene, Teofimo Lopez and all of that. So I was waiting to check him out, and I saw him. He came out, kind of reminded me of Errol Spence with his precision and clean punches. But I noticed something. He didn't knock the guy out. Now, if you on Showbox, your first fight, you gotta knock the guy out. You got to send that message that you have power. And you gotta understand too, this is your early weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like normally you move up from this point when you first start off fighting. So you're not cleaning out, dare we say, the bums when you're that young. That tells me you're not gonna be a power puncher. And he didn't knock out the next guy either. So the next guy he fought on Showbox. So to think that he would knock out Gamboa, even though he talked a good game, I didn't see that ever gonna happen. I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. What was your thoughts?
It kind of went as I expected. I was interested in seeing if he could at least hurt Gamboa. And I'm sorry, but, I didn't see that. Maybe one, I'm not saying that he didn't catch him with some clean punches. But again, we talked about this, about sitting down on your punches. But besides that, I just don't think that he's that type of fighter.
No.
He's going to need to be a masterful boxer. And he's going to have to get out the way because these other guys, the Lopezes, the Garcias,
but hold on.
Even the Lomachenkos.
But let's think about this though.
Uh-huh.
I know it's a division of power, and I'm all for the power guys. Those are the fighters that I like. But
gotta have some.
You damn right. But he could actually be the Landy Lara of that division, or of those big time fighters. Now he won't bring in really any money because of his style.
Because we ain't talking about Lara. Only the aficionados.
Yeah, so
know about like a Landy Lara.
But see, if he could box them, he could win rounds, which could give him the fight. But he can't try to be something that he's not. But if he just sticks with what he's good at, which is moving and doing the whole hit and not get hit nonsense that he learned from Mayweather, because he don't have power. So maybe his lack of power should be some sort of a defensive mechanism to kind of keep his distance and stay away, because he's quick as shit. The dude quick, he can step back quick to not really get hit, but he also will make those fighters think when they get in the ring with him, and they'll know that they won't be in a brawl, which is kind of what they want to do, especially Ryan Garcia. He want to get in and mix it up with you. We already know Teofimo coming with that heat.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think if he sticks with that, I think it'll work for him. But I do know if he thinks that he's gonna be a slugger, he'll lose against every single one of them, including Tank Davis. Which I think if he boxed, he could beat Tank. But if he go in there trying to think that he can knock somebody out, it won't happen.
And see, the only thing is, with a Gervonta Davis is, Gervonta Davis not only has power, but he carries that power.
Yeah.
So, and somebody like Devin Haney does still like to mix it up a little bit. And that's where he's going to run into his problems. And I think he was definitely a little over anxious too, because he wanted to prove something by beating Gamboa. Now, he wanted to knock him out because Tank did. Now, we got to say this too. We know Gamboa was not in the shape that he was supposed to be in. And we see that just by, how he looked last fight, which wasn't that long ago.
No.
I mean, to this fight.
He was fat, he had the pot gut and all of that. that looked kind of funny too to see him. Like, that was the first thing I noticed when they, first round. Like, damn, somebody full. Yeah, he just got through eating.
Yeah, so, I think, I like the young man. I like Devin Haney. I think that he could definitely benefit from some new trainers. And I think they kind of need, right now, they can't really pump the brakes because there's nobody else for him to fight. Not only that, he talking. I love his confidence. He talking a lot of shit.
No, there is somebody for him to fight. Guess what? Eddie Hearn, I just heard Eddie Hearn say this yesterday. He said, and this is going to be interesting, he said the winner of the Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia fight is the mandatory for that belt. He said that should be an easy fight to make happen because they're both on the zone.
You know what? But I'm thinking, I think as a press time, I think Luke Campbell is out of that fight.
What?
I believe that he's out of that fight right now. An injury or something like that. We got to look into that just to make sure.
But I know he did. I know Haney did call out Lopez, which I think is kind of stupid. I say go with Tank first.
They've been going back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
But he's been going back and forth with every damn body.
Yeah, and I admire him.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the young man is ready right now, to get into just a firefight too. Because Teofimo gonna bring the firefight. Now I would like to see him make that Ryan Garcia fight because Ryan Garcia, even though he's powerful, I think they match up a little better. Yeah. Because of the experience and because of the fucking body types.
Yeah, that body. Yep. That boyish.
Teofimo got a man body.
Yeah, they got them boyish body, them boyish physiques.
There you go.
Yeah, but definitely.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't jump in there. But I think, from what I saw after the fight, I think even Devin Haney is now a little bit skeptical about his punching power. And we won't even mention how the internet felt about it. Oh my God. They just tore him a new one on that. They just, they went in on his little ass. No power, calling the fight boring and all of that.
Which it was. Yeah. And I mean, and I'm going to tell you, Devin Haney's people also, you could tell that they were a little bit disappointed at the outcome. They wanted to look good. Hey, it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But one thing he need to sharpen up. Again, you don't have that power, then you need to be pot-shotting motherfuckers from on the outside. You need to be moving, sticking, moving. You gotta become a masterful boxer. Yeah. And that's what and he definitely has the tools.
Definitely.
I mean, and who knows? Maybe somebody opens up. We could see a little more, because your boy Gamboa was holding, but. He just up until this point, he has not shown power.
Yeah.
So
and I didn't like what he said. He said Gamboa survived. If you have power, he will not survive. Let's just be honest. Especially the Gamboa that we saw. Yeah. He was out of shape. He was there to be hit. It seemed like he was just there to collect a check. But he thought, he wanted to win, but he wasn't supposed to. Some good money. Title shot, but he was there to be taken out. I mean, even though he's that close, holding or whatever, you can easily break those holds, which is also what Tank Davis did to get him out. So I didn't like him saying that he survived. If you a power puncher, you know, nobody's gonna survive, you know. So, but it's interesting though, but he definitely does not have any power. And like I say, that's not a bad thing. I mean, worst case scenario to me, do you get another trainer or bring in a strength and conditioning coach? But I don't know. I think it's more of the training style, because what I saw what Freddie Roach did to Miguel Cotto later in his career, Miguel Cotto started punching him with power and precision and, you know, short, clean shots, moving his feet, sitting down on his punches, which is something Devin Haney does not do. Everything he does is he steps back. There's a back pedal and punch. If you're stepping backwards, you're not going to get power on really any of your punches, because your first instinct is to be defensive and watch for the next punch, which is cool if that's your style. I have nothing against it. I think he should just work on that style, because it would definitely bring something different amongst those fighters, because there's always a chance that he could outpoint some of those guys if they don't get a good clean shot on them. But then it brings in the question, how's his chin? But go ahead.
And also too, putting those punches together.
Yeah.
You know, you become a real strong combination puncher.
Yeah.
And you could get some of these guys out. I mean, it's not like the guy has punching power as whack as, let's say, he's no Paul Malignaggi. You know what I mean? He no Paulie Malignaggi. You feel what I'm saying? So, and he can develop. And I think definitely you hit on a real good point. I really do think that he would definitely benefit from some strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And I mean, he definitely need to do that. He needs a little bit of a weight program, I think, you know, and to eat a lot too. You know, get enough nutrients, because he's still growing.
Should he call your boy from West Side Barbell, Louis Simmons over there?
He needs somebody. He might need your boy, and he might need need to get Lee Haney from back in the day. You know, Lee Haney, former Mr. Olympia, the one that got Holyfield big.
Yeah, but I think he needs somebody masculine, you know, that's gonna really push him. You know, he needs somebody like that. But he definitely needs some muscle, because he does have that boy. Some
CT Fletcher. CT Fletcher was a
Yeah. But that's cool. So let's talk about another guy who's pretty hot right now, which is really confusing to me, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, supposedly, you know, he's out of the contract with Golden Boy or whatever, and he says he's a free agent. But my thing is, how are you a free agent but you're negotiating a fight with Caleb Plant? If you're a free agent, how do you know what you can put into a contract? You don't have anybody that's willing to televise it to that degree to where you're, you know, working out money. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little interesting, which shows me that there's a lot of shit going on in boxing to keep this guy afloat. But he is definitely in a division that doesn't have any names, so he can now avoid the 160 division with Charlo, Triple G, you know, and all those guys. So now, and don't forget Andre. So now he's in that 168 division, if I'm not mistaken, with Caleb Plant. And they got, like, I think 4 different champions in there, so he can go and park in there and pretty much potentially run that division, because he, you know, he's a pretty heavy boxer. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What was your thought?
My thing is, I'm just wondering what actually happened, and you know, for him to be able to get out of that contract, number one. But number two, are we gonna see this motherfucker fight one of these goddamn Charlos, man?
No.
When is this motherfucker gonna fight a Charlo?
He's not gonna. That's not gonna happen. That's my whole point. Like, and what champion gets belts and vacates titles? He constantly does that. Like, what's the whole point of you getting these belts and fighting? But here you go cherry picking. So now you're gonna go in here now. You've called out, and pretty much, and from what I heard, he was trying to set up this Caleb Plant fight earlier this year. And Caleb Plant, I think he said he was just coming off of a fight. He wanted a full camp to train or whatever. But my thing was, why Caleb Plant? And you know what I'm saying? Like, all of these people in your division, especially Charlo, and the Triple G thing, to me, it was never resolved fully because he really lost the first fight.
Exactly. We still need that trilogy.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
But
I'll give it to him. He won that second fight.
Well, we definitely need a Charlo or Andrade. But definitely Charlo.
I mean, these guys been calling him out.
Yeah.
I mean, just what happened to the honor, man, in boxing? To where you're not just gonna let these you want to be the top dog.
Here's another problem.
You want to be undisputed.
Yeah, exactly. You would think he want to be undisputed if you're supposedly the biggest draw in boxing. But where in the hell did Caleb Plant's name come from? Like, I don't understand that, which creates another problem if you're gonna carry the fight as a TV, whoever he signs to, Top Rank or whatever. Even if the zone carry, you now have to sell Caleb Plant to the public. I've watched Caleb Plant's last probably 6 or 7 fights because they've been undercards. I think he headlined one PBC on Fox, his last fight, But you gotta now sell this person to the public, which creates a whole new problem. So then if he beats the guy, yeah, you got a belt, but you're gonna get the same people making the same comments. Who is he? Why don't you fight somebody else? So why not fight somebody else? But you gotta solve that. To me, you gotta resolve that the Charlo issue. If you're going, for him to really say that he's the best. Man, it's been some years. I mean, Charlo done had that green belt for a while now. So, like I say, but again, he still doesn't have a weight class. So, I don't know, man. I don't like how Canelo's, turning boxing into a business. But if that's what you do, cool, but don't say that you're the greatest and all of that. It's kind of like, I was listening to Keith Thurman talk. They asked him who was better, Manny Pacquiao or Floyd. He said, it depends on how you look at it. But basically he said it was Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao fought everybody. It wasn't no picking different fighters. And of course the whole eight weight divisions and things like that, factored in. But again, he fought everybody. But to me, just Canelo, just the cherry picking, man. I don't know. Then like I say, where in the hell did Caleb Plant come from? I mean, and there's no knock on Caleb Plant. There's no knock on dude's a good fighter, skill. You know what I'm saying? And then the things I like about Caleb Plant, he really belongs in that weight division. But for you to just come in there, and let's not forget Canelo's past. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole Mexican meat, which was a lie, taking clenbuterol, to cut weight or whatever.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? The roid pop.
Oh, he on all that good shit.
That's what I'm saying. So, but you're gonna just come out here and you just get to pick who you want to fight. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. Motherfucker need to fight. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, he doing that Floyd Mayweather shit.
Yeah. Right
about now. You know what I'm saying?
Which may have been the reason Oscar, they had to beef with Oscar because it's hard to make fights. You want to pick, these, like who did he fight? Colin Smith or somebody, You remember
I forget who he wanted. He wanted to fight a no-name on for Cinco de Mayo and shit. Just somebody nobody heard of.
Yeah. And
wanted to get $100 million of, not $100 million, but wanted to get all these millions of dollars to fight a nobody on the zone that nobody was gonna want to see. That's where they fell out. So I think the zone was like, hey, this motherfucker too much of a, you know what I'm saying? He's
financial
a fucking
liability.
Exactly.
Because
the
if you think about
liability.
it, when it's a return on investment, it's bad with him. Because think about it. He fought, I think his name was Colin Smith. Remember he fought before Kovalev? It was a dude from the UK, one of the Smith guys. It's like eight of them. But anyway, how do you promote that fight? And then you say, you're a big draw for Mexicans and all of this. Why aren't you fighting Puerto Ricans and, you know what I'm saying, or bigger name fights? Like, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It's a bad return on investment for what he's asking and then the guys that he wants to fight. Again, Caleb Plant is a hell of a fighter. Real good, skilled guy. But the problem is, how do you sell him in a pay-per-view of that magnitude? And especially because that division is probably one of the weaker divisions, you know. And primarily because I'll be honest with you, I ain't really no brothers in that division, you know. So
there
that
you go.
creates a whole new problem.
The last brother he fought was Kirkland and shit.
Oh, that was just a setup fight.
It's the last nigga he fought, Kirkland.
Yeah. That was just so he could get a knockout on his reel.
And these guys he had been washed up. And then these guys, my thing is, these young guys want the fucking fight.
Yeah.
They want to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, your last fight, you went on, Kovalev was so softened up and fucked up after the Anthony Yard fight. And then my man, and then Canelo come in there, juice to the gills. Know what I mean? Juice to the in my estimations. Speculating, you know, I can speculate. Know what I mean? But again, it's that cherry picking, bro. You better fight these Charlos, bro. Or just drop these belts. And then they giving them these like belts that you don't gotta win. You know what I'm saying? Like they making up. Now that's one thing I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Don't make up no shit that another motherfucker can't win off your ass.
Yeah. Cause
now you bullshitting. You understand what I'm saying?
And you don't have to face any mandatories.
Exactly. You don't gotta fight.
But also, you know, before, you know, Kovalev's last fight, remember he had got knocked out. The fight before that, what was it with Storm Alvarez? No, then he came back and beat him. I'm just saying.
And then he came back and beat him. Yeah, exactly.
He went through hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then
he had already been through those wars with Ward too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, and his heyday was before Ward. People forget. Kovalev is an older fighter, but Kovalev was the man. But if it was, because remember, Adonis Stevenson kept ducking him.
Yep.
That was a fight we wanted to see years ago, but that never did come to pass. But yeah, so he went after this guy, and then it was right after he fought that last fight with Yard. And Yard, if he was conditioned, dude would be something serious. So, you know, I don't know. That'd be an interesting fight for Canelo, to fight Yard. You know,
you know, Yard made his comeback, had a couple of fights. I think he a good prospect, most definitely. I think that he just lacked that experience, man. I mean, he almost had
He's all athleticism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that first couple rounds, I was like, God damn, Kovalev, you got a problem on your hands.
Exactly. My man's got tired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My man's got tired.
Too lean for all that muscle. Too lean. That low body fat percentage, he's just too lean. But no, I'm just over Canelo. But you know, if he fight, you know, you see how it go. But I will say this: Caleb Plant ain't nobody he could take lightly, because what we're saying about Devin Haney, that's kind of what Caleb Plant could be and probably will, because he's a very disciplined fighter, and he's taking this fight seriously. So, and everybody know Canelo got power because they don't tell him what the hell he's taking. But, so he know to stay away, and he's quick enough to stay away, because people forget, Canelo just want to lumber forward pretty much. So it'd be interesting to see, and plus, Caleb Plant's taller, so it'd be interesting fight, but not who he should be fighting. He the first Mexican fighter to me that hadn't had a war. You know what I'm saying? They keep calling this, you know, big time Mexican fighter, but he hadn't been in a war like Marquez been in plenty of them. Even Margarito. You know, he's the first big-time Mexican fighter, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, Chavez.
He hadn't had a war.
Barrera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These guys win wars. He fights you one time and it's over. You know, but
Gennady have Mexican style. Remember, you know, Gennady can love.
Yeah, the big drama show.
Big drama show.
Smiling and shit. But nah, it's all good. But like I said, I'm just, you know, Canelo do what he want to do. Yeah, so we wrap things up. You know, we got the big fight this weekend, Crawford, Kell Brook. Who you got?
I mean, you know, the favorite money is gonna be obviously on Crawford, but hey, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the fucking fight, man. If Kell Brook bring his A game, it's gonna be interesting, because again, Bud got to show something too. And Bud like to fight, and Bud be open to get cracked too.
Let's not forget,
so I want to see
the last fight against Mean Machine. What happened? He got put on his glove hit the ground. That should have been ruled a knockdown because he wanted, trade. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Crawford should beat him because I think the youthfulness will pay off. And again, Spence been in some big matches. So, I think he may be a little bit punch drunk. But who knows? The first few rounds will probably pretty much give it away. And I don't think Bud can afford to start slow either. So,
no, he can't afford to get clipped.
No,
because he gonna get swarmed on if he does. So he need to go on and, you know what I'm saying, dot his I's and cross his T's.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not counting Kell Brook out. I mean, it's definitely it would be the biggest upset because we're talking about arguably he's not my number one pound for pound, but he's on a lot of people's. He's the media number one pound for pound. Next now, I think to Teofimo, right? I think they got Teofimo.
Yeah, I think the majority Teofimo is up there now.
But for a long time, I still think Errol Spence is a little too strong for him.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Errol Spence will be coming back against Garcia, that's going to be interesting. But how is if Terrence Crawford beats Kell Brook, how is he gonna beat him? You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna look? See how's he gonna look? Same thing we said about Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna look impressive? You know what I'm saying? Because this is definitely a softened up Kell Brook.
Yeah,
broken
definitely.
Orbital
Twice.
You know what I'm saying? From Golovkin and then Errol Spence.
Yeah.
And look tough and the motherfucker looked tough in both of them fights.
Yeah.
He looked tough in both of those fights. So
But the difference is, I think the one thing that we should try to look out for in the Spence fight, it was pretty close early on, but then we saw the thoroughbred in Spence. We saw a guy that took it up a notch and said, Kell Brook, we know you're a big fighter, which he was the biggest welterweight at the time. Probably still is the biggest welterweight. But we saw once he got like round 8, okay, I'm gonna step it up a notch. And here's a level that I'm on. He just outmanned him and outclassed him. So we'll see if Bud can do that. And also, this is what I want to see from the fight. How big, or should I say small, Bud looks in the ring with him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he won't look like a smaller guy in the ring. But,
Kell Brook said that, man. And, Kell Brook is banking on that as well. He said, look, I'm the bigger man.
Yeah.
When you know that you're the bigger man too, and you fight big.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that, and that's why I think this is gonna be a real good test. I mean, of course, we want to see the Spence Crawford fight.
Yeah.
But for now, I take this because this is gonna be a nice little measuring stick for him.
Yeah, and I would say this too, and it shows you how long Kell Brook been fighting. He was one of the guys, to me, this is my opinion, that Floyd Mayweather ducked. Because whenever he beat Sean Porter for that belt, and I think it was before the Pacquiao fight with Floyd, somewhere off in there, I was saying he should fight him. He got a belt, but Floyd wasn't gonna fight him. So it tells you how long this guy's been fighting. And you know what I'm saying? He's no slouch. So, and he knows what he's doing in the ring. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it's definitely a much better fight than I think that the stupid people on social media is going to be commenting, especially if Crawford wins, like, he's a washed up, Brook or whatever, which they don't even know. They don't even know the guy's history. So I definitely think it's a great fight. And the best part about it is on regular ESPN. So that's cool. Yeah, that's cool there. So, but yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up. Until next week, I guess we'll go over the results of the Crawford fight and a few other things too. But But that's pretty much it for today. What you got for him, King Lo?
Hey, Alpha Sports Talk Syndicate in full effect as always. We rebuilding. It's been a rough week, know what I mean? But hey, man, we still putting it down. We want to have all of the people listen. We love to hear your feedback. Just tell us your thoughts. We know that we providing this raw content, period. So,
Yeah.
know what I mean, we not pulling no punches. And it's from a totally different perspective.
Yeah. And,
Know what I mean? So,
yeah, we're not paid either, so I'm sure y'all probably know that. But still, like, we gonna say it how we see it, and you know what I'm saying? It's all love, but at the same time, if you get out of line, you know, we gonna call you out on your shit. So deal with it or whatever.
by the way,
Go ahead.
I gotta call out as a marijuana smoker. I gotta say, Israel Adesanya, you full of shit by saying that you grew that left titty from smoking marijuana, man.
Was it left
I don't
or
know.
right?
Left
It
titty,
was a
right titty. It's a titty. It's one titty. We know it's one titty. Know what I mean? It's lopsided titties. Know what I mean? We know you was on something. Even when he said it. He said the UFC doctor said that it might be that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you and I both know. Every nigga in the hood would have titties.
Or at least 1 out of 10.
If it came from fucking at least 1 out of 10.
At least 1 out of 10.
Mean? So, and anyway, but when he said it during the interview, he had the little lion ass nigga look in his eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and he said, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna cut back. Cut back. Yeah, you better cut back something else. And he'll probably get surgery on that before his next fight too.
But you know what? If his next fight is at 205, and you know what I'm saying, he go to the weigh-in, he make weight, and he hydrates up, that's gonna tell me something.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say on that note. That's all I'm gonna say on that note. That's a 20-pound jump in divisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something serious. That's a serious jump. Cause you gotta think.
Yeah.
Even Romero never went up to, the 205 like that. You know, has he ever fought at 205?
No, man.
That's what I'm saying.
In fact, Romero says that the 205 division is just. He said they too big.
Yeah, because
that's what he feels.
Because Romero, his walk around weight maybe like 210. He looks smooth as shit. So. Like I said, dude, go up to 205 and hydrate up a bit. It'd be a little suspect right there. Cause he's naturally a small, slender guy. He's not like a thick dude. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be interesting to see. And before we get out of here, shout out to my man Roy Jones for always keeping it real. I don't know, I saw some video. He was talking to normal Roy Jones ass shit. And nothing like it to me. It's nothing like hearing Roy talk. He gonna tell you the truth.
Hey, the zone need to fucking hire motherfucking Roy Jones. They commentary is horrible.
Horrible.
Fuck, I miss hearing Roy Jones talk.
Yeah, nothing like a good old Roy. I'd even take B-Hop in the mix. With this stupid, this broken down English.
With his ignorant self.
But he keep it real though. That's from a fighter's perspective.
Yeah.
Shitting on Gamboa the whole fight. Like, Gamboa ain't that. Never been no damn chinny.
Yeah, talk about he chinny and this and that.
No.
Yeah, man.
And then the motherfucker who's saying it, motherfucker who's saying it wasn't even a known fighter.
Yeah.
Was it Sergio Mora? Whatever.
Exactly. He was just basing it on he basing it on Crawford and Davis.
Yeah, you can't base it on that.
Matter of fact, Davis didn't knock him out to the goddamn last round. Yeah. So if you chinny, tell me this: if you're a chinny fighter, like he said, you gonna last 12 rounds
with Tank.
With Tank.
And not to mention the guy really supposed to be in a lower weight division.
Exactly.
So
he didn't came up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
122 originally, I believe. But
exactly.
But no doubt. Like I say, big fights this weekend. And, you know, we look forward to bringing another episode, a few other topics next week. May do some weightlifting stuff as well, because we deep into that too. So, hey.
UFC, and we're going to talk about Wilder again.
Yeah.
Wilder and Fury.
Fury had a response, of course, finally.
Exactly. And they saying that, you know, Deontay Wilder is trying to go into some kind of mediation to get the fight. We'll talk about that bitch ass nigga next episode, man.
Well, no, it won't be we. I'll let you do that. I don't like talking about the guy. I mean, it's just a point now, man. Like, you know, whatever. Fight somebody here. You know, it ain't gotta be Fury right now. Get your, like your boy told John, get your shit together, DC. Just get your shit together, man, and come on back. You know, whatever. You lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
But stop being a bitch.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Stop being but stop being a bitch, bro. Like, you making bitches make excuses. You got all of these goddamn excuses. And then not only that, you wait, and then now you saying you might try to sue or some little, you know what I'm saying? That's bitch shit. That shit like women do. Unable to face the fucking facts. Stand up like a fucking man. And then what's worse is that you got these people, bro, like these Dante's Boxing Nation, fucking Boxing Ego, Aki TV, whatever the fuck, and they just dick riding. And they know that this nigga is not being 100 if you a real nigga. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's all. That's enough about that.
Yeah.
Take your shit like a man. Hey, remember you said like the Diaz brothers is always sour grapes. This nigga is worse than the fucking Diaz brothers.
You ain't lying.
I won that shit. Fuck everybody. I'm the best. Know what I mean? Everybody's on steroids. Know what I mean? Stockton. Bitch.
You know, my motherfucker with no punching power. Yeah. But no, it's all good. Like I say, tune in next week. Alpha Sports Talk Syndicate. We out.
Booyah.